Even major figures in the music industry can't avoid the spotlight when power and influence are at play. 50 Cent has commented on the complex network of connections involving Diddy and other high-profile figures, highlighting how closely intertwined some of Hollywood's biggest names can be. The revelations are surprising and show just how much happens behind the scenes.
Very important because throughout the years, Black artists have been taken advantage of completely. And it's time now that we have to put a stop to this incredible injustice. It's been, the record companies really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can, especially the Black artists.
Yeah. Now let me say this.
Tommy Mottola. Tommy Mottola is the president of the record division. He is a mean, he's a racist, and he's very devilish.
We're listening to Mike right now. Obviously, you know, this is a really sad time right now, but we're celebrating his life. Your thoughts right now on the situation and the timing of this tragedy?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he just somebody that changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I'll always...
Michael Jackson reached the pinnacle of the music industry while remaining independent from the powerful networks that often influence Hollywood. Even at the height of his fame, some high-profile figures reportedly tried to shape public perception about him. Despite controversies swirling in the media, Michael maintained his position and continued to make an impact on the industry, showing how difficult it can be to control someone with his level of talent and
find out the person you love is a monster. Like you sharing this information with me even about Michael Jackson. Like, I don't want to believe you. I want to say it's the media. I want to say Oprah. Like, I want to say all of these things.
People were mad at Oprah.
I'm mad at Oprah.
You're mad at Oprah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's because I think the young Black boy who loved Michael Jackson wanted to be like, I don't want it to be true. I don't want, and I'm like, even, and that, again, it goes back to like, damn, are we just turning a blind eye because we had so much love for his talent and his ability?
Well, you said, you know, where's the Surviving Harvey Weinstein documentary?
Yeah.
And there are actually like 2 of those coming.
No, but in that statement, the reason why I made that, and it, like, people, like, you can read into it however you want to.
Jackson faced public scrutiny throughout his career, and media personalities sometimes questioned or criticized him in ways that sparked debate. While some interactions appeared friendly, coverage of his career often included commentary that he or his fans disagreed with, highlighting the challenges of navigating fame under intense...
Recently, there was a story, and I know one of your attorneys held a news conference. There was a story about you wanting to have a little white boy play you in a Pepsi commercial.
That is so stupid. That's the most ridiculous, horrifying story I've ever heard. It's crazy. I mean, why? Number one, it's my face as a child in the commercial. Me, when I was little. Why would I want a white child to play me? I'm a Black American. I'm proud to be a Black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am. I have a lot of pride in who I am and dignity. That's like you wanting an Oriental person to play you as a child. Does that make sense?
No.
So please, people, stop believing these horrifying
then
stories.
let's go.
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. Is something that I cannot help. Okay, but when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me. So it's a problem for me. Okay, I can't control it. Okay, but what about all the millions of people? Let's reverse it.
Okay.
What about all the millions of people who sit out in the sun to become darker, to become other than what they are? Nobody says nothing about that.
So when did this start? When did the color of your skin start to change?
Oh boy, sometime after Thriller. Around Off the Wall Thriller. Sometime
and what did you think? I mean,
it's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me...
Jackson's career was often the subject of intense media attention, even after legal matters were resolved in his favor. Some media figures continued to discuss controversies surrounding him, raising questions about how public perception can be shaped and how challenging it can be to maintain a positive legacy under constant...
For me, this moment transcends Michael Jackson. It is much bigger than any one person.
Oprah Winfrey opened up about her decision to speak to Michael Jackson's accusers for her After Neverland special when she stopped by The Daily Show on Wednesday night. Last month, Winfrey made headlines when she sat down with Michael Jackson accusers for Oprah Winfrey Presents After Neverland, which aired on HBO following the explosive documentary about the singer titled Leaving Neverland.
If they ever found out what we were doing, he and I would go to jail.
Winfrey said of her decision to do the special, "I haven't had that much hateration since I did the puppy episode with Ellen DeGeneres, aka the episode in which DeGeneres came out as gay." The talk show host continued, "But when I saw that documentary, I realized that a lot of people are going to be triggered by watching it, and a lot of people will not understand what the pattern is." Winfrey explained, "People call it molestation, but there is a big seducing that goes on, and that was important enough for me to take the hater."
Oprah Winfrey recently discussed her decision to interview individuals featured in the After Neverland special during an appearance on The Daily Show Wednesday night. Last month, she made headlines for her HBO special, Oprah Winfrey Presents After Neverland, which followed the documentary Leaving Neverland about Michael Jackson.
She's been getting a lot of hate. Some of the tweet hate that Oprah's been getting, if karma is real, Oprah, after you are laid to rest, which is, I hope, many years from now, people will come out of the woodwork and lie on you, betray you, smear your name the way they're doing Michael Jackson, and the people that you let in your inner circle will lead the way. Oprah, you are disgusting, a cheap mercenary. Ooh.
The reason the idea of Michael Jackson or any major person committing sexual abuse against children challenges so many people is because in every family you have to face that some things are not the way they appear to be. And what people need to accept in their own families is that people can do good things, they can be loving and helpful, and also be an abuser and a person who does bad things. Both can be true. And we are experiencing this paradox as a reckoning in our country every day in the news, where both things can be true.
Yeah, she's right about that. Both things can be true. You can have somebody who appears to be very nice in the front and be evil behind closed doors. You know that. And that's what she's...
Listen to how Oprah talks about Michael. She was closely connected with some of the biggest names in Hollywood and the music industry, and her interviews often sparked controversy. Michael's independent approach and unwillingness to be influenced by others made him a frequent subject of media discussion.
Oprah publicly supported victims of sexual assault in the wake of numerous allegations against Harvey Weinstein. Singer Seal Instagrammed this meme, showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul. It reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution."
Give me love. Please welcome Seal!
The 54-year-old who's appeared on Oprah's show captioned his post, "Oh, I forgot. That's right. You'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starry-eyed actresses. My bad." While Weinstein maintains his innocence, Seal hasn't commented further, and Oprah has not responded.
This moment is a really powerful time for everybody to get woke.
Fans have come to her defense, pointing out Winfrey is a sexual assault survivor. They also posted pics of Seal's ex, Heidi Klum, kissing Weinstein.
Oprah Winfrey has had high-profile relationships throughout her career, connecting with many prominent figures in Hollywood and the entertainment industry. When controversies arise around people in her network, her responses often attract public attention and scrutiny, highlighting the challenges of navigating fame and
But you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD."
And when you start talking about it out loud too,
everybody has a story. Everybody has a story, and so I think this is a watershed moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend he didn't touch me. I think those days are about to be over.
Are over. And if it happens to you back in the day, you would say, sometimes you're not even aware what he just said wasn't really inappropriate.
I know you've had a couple moments.
Where you just think, what did he just say?
Yes, I remember Gail had a moment when she came and said to me what somebody said that was so inappropriate. I was like, oh my God, you can sue over that. But
no, and all I said was, what did you say? And then they repeated it.
Yes. Terrible.
I just sat there typing with my 20-something-year-old.
Pretend you didn't hear it.
Yes.
You pretend it's okay. You pretend you didn't.
No, it isn't. You're right, Jeff. It absolutely, you're absolutely right.
But a lot of women have been silenced, and I know
but I think it's going to change.
Being a victim of child sexual abuse, that when you feel like you cannot be heard, and then other people start speaking out, it makes you feel like, oh, now I can speak out too.
Yeah.
So,
and you've been speaking about it for
years.
It's notable how often Oprah has been connected with high-profile figures in Hollywood and the entertainment industry, some of whom later became the focus of public controversies. Her past associations often spark questions about influence, accountability, and the challenges of navigating relationships in a world under constant media scrutiny.
Completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay.
When you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see before, look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time of their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
No.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I felt like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress.
Comedian Dave Chappelle left tens of millions of dollars on the table when he walked away from his popular Comedy Central show. Yep. A lot of people wondered what the hell was he thinking? And that's a quote. Chappelle says whether he was thinking. A lot of people ask that question. Chappelle says he had a crisis of conscience and stood up for his integrity as an artist. He explained to us how stepping out of the spotlight helped him avoid getting caught in a trap.
It's so much bigger than money, though, Dave. It's so much bigger than money.
Oh, no, it was bigger than money. But you know what? I watched one of these nature shows one time, and they were talking about how a bushman finds water when it's scarce. And they do what's called a salt trap. I didn't know this. Apparently, baboons love salt.
Okay.
So they put a lump of salt in a hole, and they wait for the baboon. The baboon comes, sticks his hand in the hole, grabs the salt makes his hand bigger, and he's trapped. He can't get his hand out. Now, if he's smart, all he does is let go of the salt. Baboon doesn't want to let go of the salt. Then the bushman just comes, takes the baboon, throws him in the cage, and gives him all the salt he wants. And then the baboon gets thirsty. The bushman lets him out of the cage. The first place the baboon runs to is water. The bushman follows him, and they both drink to their fill. And in that analogy, I felt like the baboon. But I was smart enough to let go of the salt.
Isn't that a great analogy?
What an analogy!
I know. He's very, very thoughtful and very...
Oprah Winfrey has long been a major force in the entertainment industry, and her influence is widely recognized. High-stakes offers and business deals often create tension and difficult decisions for artists. For example, Dave Chappelle reportedly turned down a large offer from a major network, showing that even successful figures sometimes resist pressures tied to fame and fortune. These situations highlight how navigating celebrity, power, and money can be complicated behind
the trial of a former dormitory matron charged with abusing 6 students at Oprah Winfrey School for Girls in South Africa is resuming. Prosecutors say former dorm matron Tina Virginia Makopo tried to kiss and fondle the girls. She's also accused of kicking and hitting some of them. Makopo pleaded innocent to 14 charges of indecent assault assault and criminal injury in South Africa. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, the ex-headmistress of the $40 million school is suing Winfrey for defamation. The suit claims someone would conclude from Winfrey's comments that the school employee knew of the alleged abuse and was actively involved in covering it up.
I was, needless to say, devastated and really shaken to my core.
Winfrey said she was disappointed in the former headmistress. The TV talk show host also made comments about students who felt there was an atmosphere of repression at the school.
And I spoke to all the girls personally, and I encouraged all of them, any of them who had actually been harmed, to please come forward.
Oprah Winfrey's Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa has been the subject of media scrutiny in the past. Questions about school management, staff conduct, and administrative challenges attracted attention in 2007 and 2009. While the school has been praised for its mission to provide education to young women, these concerns highlight the challenges of managing large institutions under intense public.
Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein. He was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support them. Because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did, or come forward and say, I support him.
Deal has commented on how many influential figures in the industry often meet privately, attending gatherings and discussions away from the public eye. These behind-the-scenes interactions show how decisions and collaborations can happen out of the spotlight.
The idea that there are sexual predators in power, not just in Hollywood, I think all across any place there's a boss with underlings in any corporation or any industry, you have a type of sexual politics that goes on that can slide in between appropriate ethics and decorum to inappropriate behavior to the point of harassment and sexual predatory behavior.
Well, I mean, I think people understand that, but the larger question is there a culture of complicity in Hollywood where women are afraid to speak up because they'll be blacklisted, men are afraid to speak up because either they're out of the same fear or they just think, well, this is the way the system works.
I think there are people that say, hey, this is how it works, pure and simple. And this is why I got into it, and this is why I have power. This is how it works, and you have to understand that. That does not carry the day. Complicity is also complicity. The people who know, well, look, this is how we do business, and that's what it's got to be done. I'm sorry it's like that. So beware. That's also present, without a doubt, but it does not carry the day. There's also people that were afraid to speak out, who were victims, that did not go forward, that signed negotiated settlement deals of which a non-disclosure agreement was part and parcel to it. That also does not carry the day.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I see them now. Some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all their meetings. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn free golf. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. That's not funny. but I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff, but. You know, that one, your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
Since Diddy's recent legal troubles, several high-profile celebrities, including Tom Hanks and Will Smith, have publicly clarified their relationships with him. Even without being directly involved, some figures chose to make statements to distance themselves from the situation. These developments show how quickly public perception can shift in Hollywood, and how closely media scrutiny influences celebrity.
Do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
If you're not worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them,
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got that in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like, not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drugs. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she could remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the fuck? This is, yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. I don't know why it's so hard for people
so
just
for
to
people to feel like you would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip hop culture could think that everybody in hip hop culture is with that shit.
150. Senta said that he has always been careful about the company he keeps in Hollywood. In a recent interview on the Enthusiast podcast with Lincoln Salazar, he explained that he chooses not to participate in certain parties or events, preferring to maintain his own boundaries. This approach has allowed him to navigate the industry without being drawn into situations that could compromise his reputation.
Boss of the fashion giant Abercrombie & Fitch and his British partner have been arrested on charges of running a prostitution and international sex trafficking business following a 2-year-long BBC investigation. The FBI began looking into the claims that Mike Jeffries and his partner Matthew Smith sexually exploited and abused men at events they hosted in their New York residences and hotels around the world. Lawyers for both men and a third man who's been arrested have previously denied any wrongdoing. They'll appear in court on Friday. Rihanna Croxford broke the story that led to the FBI's initial investigation. Here's her report.
Mike Jeffries, the mogul behind a global fashion brand. His vision made billions for Abercrombie & Fitch, drawing in teenagers with provocative ads like these. He stepped down in 2014 after running the company for 2 decades. He's now facing criminal.
Particularly striking is that the spotlight hasn't stayed confined to the entertainment industry. Recently, prominent figures from various sectors have also come under legal and public scrutiny, raising deeper questions about how influence and authority are exercised behind the scenes. These situations have fueled broader discussions around accountability and the true responsibilities that come with positions of power.
Amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously, it's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes, it's like J-Lo, like was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion. Like if she's going to be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to watch play out. It seems like the Diddy thing was like an Epstein type compromise deal where whether he was doing it himself, conceivably, people want to think that he's attached to some intelligence agency or something like that. I think he's a gangster who made $1 billion and knew how to control people by compromising them. That's what I think. Whether or not he had help, I don't know. Whether or not he shared some of that information with people so they knew they had compromising stuff on people, I don't know. But clearly he was doing it for his own jollies too. There was something sick about it.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is that people in the music and entertainment industry had to know that Diddy was like kids basically. And yet they still fed him kids. And like, where's the accountability?
There had to be rumors. There had to be.
They had to know.
Yeah,
they had to know.
Cat Williams is talking about it on
exactly.
Yeah, on that podcast.
But like who's feeding him the kids? You know,
right? Yeah, and what videos do they have of these people where they're willing to defend him and they're willing to keep quiet about all this? Like how many people were compromised?
Yeah,
the whole thing is fucking crazy.
Right.
Musk has also weighed in on the broader conversations surrounding Diddy and the network of people connected to him. This situation has sparked widespread discussion, with many surprised by how far-reaching some of these associations appear to be across different industries and circles. Public curiosity has only grown as people revisit past relationships and connections, including well-known figures who were once closely linked to him. These questions reflect a larger pattern in how audiences try to make sense of complex situations involving influential personalities and their past associations.
When they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You got to realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's going to make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self.
Observers believe that the pressures and experiences people face early in their careers can shape who they become later on. In high-stakes industries like music, stories about difficult beginnings and challenging environments often lead to broader discussions about how cycles of influence and behavior can continue over time.